last time.
This is it. This is the end. Beetlejuice is gone.
Well, the only person I miss is you. Oh, no, you send me again. Beetlejuice, baby. Beetlejuice.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. He is back. The man you never thought you'd see again. Beetlejuice. Last time we saw him, he beat Stephanie McMahon in GM mode, and now he has come back for a purpose. That's right, Beetlejuice is getting into politics. He's going for Senate, then towards 2024, he's running for president. What better way to advertise himself than coming back to GM mode and winning it all over again? Beetlejuice beat SmackDown and Stephanie McMahon. Now Shane McMahon, Stephanie's brother, wants vengeance, and he's controlling the NXT brand, and Beetlejuice is ready to beat some ass.
I can beat that ass and I can win, but I can still beat that ass and win.
We are back on GM mode because of the fact that WWE 2K23 got announced. John Cena is on the cover. Want to get in some practice on GM mode before we go to WWE 2K23. So here we are, bringing back Beetlejuice, and we increase the difficulty to hard. You see the rules of GM mode and the draft. The only thing I want to add is that I don't want to draft wrestlers that we had from the previous GM mode. With the number 1 pick, Beetlejuice selects the man, Becky Lynch. NXT answers back by selecting Asuka. We select yet another women's wrestler with the Queen, Charlotte Flair. Women all around, NXT picks Shayna Baszler. It is time to stun Shane McMahon by picking Kevin Owens. NXT answers right back with Drew McIntyre. We pick the show off Dolph Ziggler. NXT picks Roderick Strong. He's on the cover, we pick Rey Mysterio. The rated R superstar Edge to NXT. We get the big guy, Walter, to Raw. They took my next pick, Shinsuke Nakamura. We break the rules, Bayley returns to Raw. NXT goes with Eric. We get Samoa Joe to Monday Night Raw. NXT selects Naomi. We finish off the 4 Horsemen by getting Sasha Banks. NXT picks up Tamina. Bro, we just picked up Matt Riddle. Natalya goes to NXT. We pick up Miss Controversy, Mandy Rose. Toni Storm goes to NXT. Shush, we get Chad Gable. NXT finishes off the Vikings, gets Ivar. With our final pick, we pick up Peyton Royce. Broke the rule, picked up some people, but we got the 4 Horsewomen. NXT picks Angel Garza. And with their final pick, NXT picks up Cameron Grimes, and that is Shane's roster. We have the same GM mode intro. Triple H tells us he has high hopes. Beetlejuice says he's got this. Shane McMahon talks his trash. Says he has Drew McIntyre, but we're not scared. Starting off differently from the last GM mode, Rey Mysterio wants a match in San Diego tonight. He got it. We were going to go with Kevin Owens as champ, but we decided to go with Samoa Joe. Tough decision. Could have went with any of the 4 Horsewomen, but we decided to go with our number 1 overall pick. The man, Becky Lynch, is our new women's champion. We start off our first Raw, Becky versus Bayley. They're doing it in real life. We're doing it in my GM mode. Titles on the line because the last GM mode, titles were just switching left and right. Bayley beats the champ in an okay match, starts a rivalry. After the draft, we're broke. We need money. We have Sasha versus Peyton Royce. Could have done Charlotte, but we want to boost up Peyton Royce. And Sasha Banks picks up the win, continuing her hot streak from the last GM mode. Disappointing, but starts a rivalry. Like I said, we need money. We're broke. Tag titles, Dolph and Chad versus Riddle and Ray. Who's our first tag champs? And it's the Bro Mysterios. I don't know. New rivalry. Okay match. That was a weird name to come up with. Samoa Joe versus Walter. We want Joe versus Kevin, but Walter beats our champ in a disappointing match. NXT starts off strong with the tag titles on the line. Nakamura and Grimes versus Edge and Eric. And Edge and Eric pick up the win. Edge, he leaves us, goes to NXT. Tamina with a self-promo. Angel Garza versus Ivar tables match. And Angel Garza picks up the win against Ivar. It starts a rivalry. And then we have Naomi calling out Tamina after Tamina cuts a promo. Asuka and Toni Storm versus Shayna Baszler and Natalya. No women's titles to be seen. Asuka and Toni Storm pick up the win. Roderick Strong versus Drew McIntyre tables match for the title. Drew McIntyre picks up the win. First show, NXT picks up the win. It's on hard. We're not surprised. We have Triple H telling us Joe versus Walter was a bad idea. I'm not surprised. I only did it because I wanted Joe versus Kevin. But Kevin and Joe are both faces. I need to turn Kevin heel. So we just threw it in there. We have Peyton Royce. She's upset that she lost to Sasha Banks. We're fine with this. It's a rivalry. Peyton, you're going to get your rematch against Sasha. We have a rematch from last week. Ray and Riddle go against Chad and Ziggler once again. Title's not on the line, and Ziggler and Gable get revenge in an okay match. Kevin Owens, we switch him to heel so he can feud with Joe. Sasha and Peyton, we give Peyton what she wants, one-on-one with Sasha, and Sasha wins yet again. No one can stop her, but it's disappointing. Then we have Walter call out Rey Mysterio, Giant versus Little Man. Charlotte gets her first match against Mandy Rose, and the Queen picks up the win in a dull match. But it starts a rivalry, though. Then we have Joe cutting a promo, talking about being the champ. Speaking of champs, Becky puts the title on the line against Bayley, and Bayley dethrones the champ and wins it. On to NXT, we have Angel Garza and Cameron Grimes going against Edge and Ivar in a tag match, and Edge wins with Ivar. Eric might be jealous. Ooh, and they start a rivalry. Tony Storm cuts a promo. King Nakamura versus Eric. Speaking of Eric, does not team with Edge so he could lose to King Nakamura in a mediocre match. Naomi cuts a promo. We have Asuka versus Shayna Baszler. Natalya runs in against Asuka, but it doesn't matter because no one is ready for Asuka. Then we have Tamina calling out Naomi. And then we have Drew with the title on the line, tables match against Roderick Strong, and we have a new NXT champion. We did not have a good week, and NXT wins, and Triple H rubs it in our face. Charlotte versus Mandy, back to back. He does not approve of matches we do. Peyton Royce is happy for the rematch, even though she loses to Sasha Banks. Becky's upset she lost her title to Bayley. Does it remind you of Bayley versus Sasha from last GMO? So we give Becky a rematch against Bayley for the title. After turning Kevin Owens heel, we want him to feud with Joe for the title, so we start a match right here, and Kevin Owens stuns the champ, picking up the win, and Joe's 0-2, and it starts a rivalry. Mandy versus Charlotte flopped, so we turn Mandy face to help that out. Now we have Rey Mysterio versus Walter. Can the cover boy beat the Giant? And Walter just slaps the mask off of Rey, and the rivalry continues. Charlotte Flair cuts a promo with nothing to do. Banks versus Peyton Royce yet again for the third time, and Peyton Royce picks up the win against Sasha Banks. Then we have the original Bro cutting a promo, Bayley versus Becky for the rematch for the title, and Bayley just can't be stopped. She retains the title. After all the promos, Tamina and Naomi go one-on-one, and Naomi picks up the win against Tamina, shutting her up, continuing the rivalry. Then we have Angel Garza cutting a promo, doesn't go well. Natalya versus Toni Storm, one-on-one. Natalya picks up the win against Toni in a mediocre match. Ivar calls out Angel Garza, what are they doing after he teams with Edge? Asuka getting revenge for Shayna attacking her, and Asuka picks up the win against Shayna. It starts a rivalry. The new champ, Roderick Strong, cuts a promo. Speaking of the tag champs, Eric and Edge go toe-to-toe with Nakamura and Grimes, and they defend their titles. NXT is giving us the work. No one said it would be easy. Then we have Triple H telling us about the stamina. We know what we're doing. We've done this before. Becky thanks us for the title rematch. She didn't win against Bayley, but she'll get another rematch. And Sasha Banks, she's 2-1. She wants a title shot. And it really made me think, does she go one-on-one against Bayley yet again? First legend sign, Mickie James coming back to Raw, but that's not all. A new addition, Eddie Guerrero, coming to Monday night. It's Walter versus Ray. The rivalry continues. Eddie Guerrero comes in to help his friend, runs in, and it can't stop Walter. He just can't be stopped in a great match. Bayley gets some rest, doesn't go toe-to-toe against Sasha, cuts a promo. Riddle versus Chad Gable, one-on-one, and Riddle picks up the win in a mediocre match. Becky cuts a promo. We have Charlotte and Peyton. Mandy runs in on them with Mickey and Sasha for the tag titles. They win the tag titles. They feuded at Mania in the last GM mode, and now they're tag champs. Dolph Ziggler cuts a promo. I mean, we gave Sasha what we wanted. She wanted a title match. What we wanted, what she wanted. Anyway, Samoa Joe versus Kevin Owens, one-on-one, and Joe gets his win back against Kevin. Tamina versus Naomi in a tables match yet again. After all those promos, Naomi yet again picks up a win in a great match. Then you have Asuka calling out Shayna. Edge versus Angel Garza. What are they doing with Edge and Angel Garza on NXT? And Edge picks up the win. And then Cameron Grimes cuts a promo. We have Eric versus King Nakamura. I just don't think Shane knows what he's doing. He's booking weird matches. No continuity. And Eric picks up the win, starts a rivalry. Toni Storm cuts a promo. Yet again, Roderick Strong versus Drew McIntyre for the NXT title, and Roderick Strong retains against Drew. We finally put up a better show than NXT.
Fuck with me, you die!
We have Sasha grateful that we gave her a title shot. Didn't give her the women's title shot, but we signed Mickey just to give her a tag title. And former rivals now tag champs in the former GM mode. Then we have Mandy Rose saying that she has an idea for her and Becky to team up. That's an interesting thing since we just had Mickey and Banks tag team, but why not? We give Mandy what she wants. Triple H tells us no Sasha for the pay-per-view, so we go and we pick up Goldberg. On to Backlash, WWE title on the line, Samoa Joe versus Kevin Owens to start it off. Fight Kevin, fight. He wins the WWE title. Rivalry grows, great match. Sasha can't wrestle, so she calls out Pam Royce. We want to build up Mandy Rose. She's a face now versus the heel Charlotte. They go one-on-one, and Mandy picks up the win on pay-per-view in a good match. Mickey comes, wins the tag title, cuts a promo. Ray and Riddle versus Dolph and Shush, Chad Gable. And Dolph and Chad retain the tag titles. The Shush show off. Peyton Royce now cuts a promo. And Walter goes toe-to-toe with Eddie. No one can beat Walter, but can Eddie do it? And he does. He gets in the ring and shows Ray how to beat the Giant. Goldberg wants Dolph Ziggler. Bayley puts the title on the line against Becky. And Becky wins back the title. New women's champ. On to NXT, Drew versus Roderick, no title on the line, TLC match, and Drew finally picks up the win when it doesn't matter, an amazing match. Toni Storm calls out Natalya, then we have Angel Garza, Cameron Grimes versus Ivar and Edge for the tables match? No tag titles because Edge and Eric are teaming up. Why? Why did they team up Ivar? Natalya does charity. Shayna Baszler versus Asuka. Tables match for the title. Shayna Baszler, new champion? Or does she retain? I don't know. King Nakamura versus Eric. Extreme Rules match. King Nakamura wins. What is NXT doing? Then we have Tamina versus Naomi. They build it up. Tables match for the main event. And Naomi just cannot be stopped. Even though my GM's on hard, we're keeping up with NXT. That's impressive.
I'm Beetlejuice, baby.
Mickey James just signed a couple of weeks ago, already calling shots, wants to go one-on-one with Bayley. We tell her, you do what you gotta do. Rivalry is complete. Bayley has nothing to do. Rey Mysterio upset that he's the fall guy. It's not our fault. You just lose, Rey.